Hello, and welcome into a new episode of Bleed Orange and Blue Illini Fan Podcast. We're going to go ahead and dive into a Wisconsin preview today, talk about what we expect of the Illini in this Wisconsin matchup, as well as what Wisconsin is going to bring to us. May look very familiar to some stylistic ideals that the Illini offense plays with. As we go ahead and dig into this on the next episode of Bleed Orange and Blue, Illini Fan Podcast. All right, and welcome in again, you bleeders. We're going to go ahead and dive into this Wisconsin Illini matchup. Now, Illinois obviously coming off of a disappointing loss to Michigan State at Michigan State. We're going to go ahead and try to work past our feelings in regards to that game and look forward to what we can control, and that is going to be this Wisconsin matchup. Now, this Wisconsin team has some similarities to the Illini in regards to offensive side of the ball. This is a faster pace moving offense than the Illini. However, definitely a similar aspect in regards to the Wisconsin offense can actually put out five shooters on the floor, just like the Illini. So I think this matchup is going to be heavily dependent on, uh, keeping shooters in front of you, staying close in closeouts, and rebounding the basketball. Obviously, it's going to have a lot of shots gone up. Wisconsin's offense is currently 38th in KenPom for efficiency. Illini still rocking that number one spot. Not as high as the record setting that we had just previously, but still over that 130 point at 130.9 adjusted efficiency. Not too bad at all. Now, obviously, the effects of the Michigan State game, as well as Wisconsin's game that they just had, we both got affected by officiates and some unfavorable calls going against us, both Illinois and Wisconsin in our previous games. So there's probably going to be some feelings in this game and wanting to go out and definitely prove ourselves. I don't foresee Wisconsin not wanting to do the same. Wisconsin, great offensively, and not as good defensively, sitting at 60th in adjusted efficiency, where Illinois is 21st in the nation, according to KenPom. So, what do I foresee in this game? I think there's going to be a lot of shooting. I think the biggest aspect defensively we've got to do is just close out on shooters. I foresee us looking to play in a drop coverage, maybe obviously a little bit of that zone as well, since we are running with a bigger lineup, and utilize our length to contest shots, crash the boards. And a big aspect I think we have to look at in this game that we did not do a great job at against Michigan State, because this Wisconsin team can get out and transition and get shots up. Again, being a much faster pace than they have historically, faster pace than Illinois is, every other team in Big Ten is, in regards to fast pace, because we like to slow things down. But ultimately, in this matchup, Wisconsin's going to push the ball. They're going to try to get up threes. 50% of their shots are 3-pointers. Looks like 39.2% of their points are 3-pointers, where ours is at 39.6. So again, similarities between this Illini offense and this Wisconsin offense, just in regards to what they look to get done. Very, very, very similar numbers in regards to point distribution across the board, with percentages of where they get their hoops and get their points. Now, another similarity within this Wisconsin lineup, they do have height. So they do have some height to match up with us. Again, Illinois is ever so slightly taller overall, but this Wisconsin team has bigs that can shoot. they just don't have quite as much height in their guard rotation as we do, where their guards are more about 6'3", 6'4". Obviously, they bring back experience. They've got top. They're sitting 30th in Kimpom and overall college experience. Where Illinois is 131st. Obviously, our freshmen have came up big and played like upperclassmen, but you do have to always watch out with these Wisconsin teams once they have experience and have shooting. They always can be dangerous. Now, this Wisconsin team is pretty good. Now, are they great? No. They've got some losses here. Obviously, a couple of bigger, stronger opponents on their list here that they've lost to is BYU, Nebraska, and Purdue. Obviously, we've been able to pull out wins, going 1-1 against Nebraska, getting a win against Purdue. Obviously, I haven't faced BYU, but I look at how much did they lose their games by, especially in those bigger matchups. So they lost to BYU by 28. They lost to Nebraska by 30. They lost to Purdue by 16. They also had some recent losses that were close games. Obviously, the Indiana game that didn't go their way. They lost by a point there. They lost to USC by 2. And Villanova and TCU, respectively, by 10 and 11. So this is a good team. They faced different ways of losing games. Obviously, we haven't had as big of losses there. They're currently 16-7. I really think that they're a dangerous team. We cannot look past this game at all. I appreciate the fact that Illinois does not have a matchup against Michigan State still on the schedule. I really think if we had a quick turnaround and saw Michigan State within a couple of games, that this Illinois team would be looking at getting their revenge and a win, much like they probably would have if Nebraska had been closer. Now, we've got next upcoming game against Wisconsin. Obviously, we've got one just down the line here as well, coming up with Michigan. But that's a nice stretch away. So I don't foresee Illinois looking ahead on the schedule. I look at them being very locked into this game as well as Wisconsin. I think this is going to be a dogfight of a game. I definitely see Illinois coming out on top because we are the better of the two teams in regards to defense. Illinois, again, sitting at 21st overall in KenPom, where Wisconsin's is at 60. They give up more points ultimately than we do. They do force a few more turnovers. So again, just back to taking care of the ball, which we still haven't gotten away from. Fouls obviously were an issue in that Michigan State game. So we don't want to put them on the line. They do shoot roughly about as many free throws as Illinois does. Actually, just almost a free throw game higher than we do. So, and they don't foul a lot either. Their opponents are shooting, close to the average of Illinois. So they're not a huge fouling team. They don't do a bad job there. We're going to have to, again, be efficient, rebound the basketball, keep the shooters in front of us, and not let them get good looks or get them streaking, because this is a team much like the Illini that can go 90 seconds through a game and have a 12-point run. They can hit shots, they can hit it quickly, and they can hit it efficiently. So our defense is just going to have to lock in. Obviously, Illinois missed some assignments in regards to shooters against Michigan State. Michigan State's not a great 3-point shooting team, at least in regards to their guard depth. Wisconsin could shoot the ball all 5 spots. So I would say, hey guys, pay attention in practice, because this is going to be exactly what your teammates look like that you face every day. Guys that can shoot, guys that have some length and height out there. So crash the boards, slow them down in transition, don't give them opportunities, and just play sound basketball. And I definitely see Illinois coming out with a win. My projection, Illinois is going to come out with at least a 7 to 9 point win, potentially more, depending upon how well we do on that defensive side of the ball and limit them in transition. Again, crashing the boards. We got beat by Michigan State. I think that's going to be a main focal point. And Brad's practice and game planning against Wisconsin is rebound, rebound, rebound. If you've listened to any press conference he's had since the last offseason, all he's talked about is rebounding, especially offensive boards. So look forward to this one. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to have a lot of offense. Probably frustrate me a little bit on the defensive side of the ball, unless we find Wisconsin in a bad shooting night. Look for Keaton Wagler to go back and get his groove going. Obviously, one bad game from a freshman that shot the ball a lot, was, in my opinion, fouled a lot. Not to get back on my wagon of the officiants and Michigan State, but I think Keaton's going to get back to the Keaton we know. I definitely foresee him having a big game in this one, just because of what we saw, him do to Purdue after he had a bad shooting night previously. I think he's going to come in very locked in, and I think he's going to just show off his cerebral mental, his processing. He does such a great job at getting guys off their feet, forcing fouls, and just scoring in the lane with his different footwork, as well as hitting some shots. So I foresee him coming in locked in. Hopefully, we find out here some more news in regards to Colin Boswell's expected return. Obviously, Illinois really needed him against Michigan State. I don't foresee Wisconsin being a huge issue. Obviously, uh, with their lineup, they do have some good guards. But I don't think anybody that's going to single-handedly get in the lane like um, Jeremy Pierce Shooter did. Now, obviously, John Blackwell, great player. Nick Boyd, great player. They're going to get to the lane, but they're definitely shooters. So look forward to the Illini coming out in this one, playing good physical, sound defense, hitting the boards, and limiting that transition. And I think we will come out single-handedly in this game without too much stress. But I don't foresee Wisconsin going out down without a fight. I think they're a good offensive team. I think they're going to utilize their length as much as they can against us and try to match up evenly. So, would be happy to see some comments down in the comment section in regards to your thoughts on this game. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think Illinois needs to focus on? What do you think Wisconsin even needs to focus on? And how is this ultimately going to play out throughout the rest of the regular season? I foresee, aside from that Michigan game, we can run the table if we're locked in every game. But let's be honest, the basketball season's long and mentally taxing. So there's always a chance we give up another game, possibly two, if we have mental lapses. But I know this team is angry that they lost and are going to come out fighting. So please go ahead, like, share, subscribe to this video. So when I come out with some more content, would love to, again, get feedback from you guys. If there's anyone that's wanting to even join on the show and hop in, maybe get their perspectives that have some opportunity here, you can email me at bleedorangeandbluepod@gmail.com. Again, go ahead, like, share, subscribe this video.